Hey, I have no idea if this recording is gonna go anywhere. I just felt like I needed to get some shit out of my head. It's currently about 11:30. So, I'm gonna be pretty quiet because my parents are asleep. And again, I don't know if this recording is gonna go anywhere, but if it does, I apologize for the shitty audio. I've got my fan running because, it's warm in here. I'm just working on an embroidery thing. I didn't really feel like going to bed yet. When I first got home, because of the virus, I was sleeping pretty shittily for like 2.5, 3 months. Maybe more, 2.5, and then I got better, and now it's back to bad again. And I know I need to do better about having a sleep schedule. But for now, it's really weird fucking times, man. I know things are better here in terms of riots, because I live in Minneapolis, in a suburb about 15 minutes out of downtown. It's not super close, but still, not super far, but still like, not super close, but still just enough to where it's like, things are scary, I don't know. It's been weird. I didn't really know, again, things have blown over here in Minneapolis, but there's still things happening in other parts of the country. And I know that opinions don't necessarily have a right or a wrong, but it's just hard to know if I have the right opinion or not in this situation. I think after a bit of time I developed something that I like and that I can agree with. I don't know, you agree with your own opinions. I don't know if you get me. I found my opinion through all the shit that's been on. I just think that it sucks and it's shitty to see what happened, both to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and all of the other police brutality cases, the famous ones at least, that we've seen in the past. I think it sucks that that is a thing that has happened. And it sucks to see riots and looting, and it hurts to see my city and my people hurting. Because there was, I guarantee, I don't talk to people, so I don't know for sure, but I'm 99% sure that there was people I know who were in the protests, in the peaceful protest, or in the riots, or who were on that bridge when the truck incident happened. And it's just scary. And I applaud all of those people who are going out and speaking their voice and fighting for what is right, fighting for justice. And if the riots and whatever, if that is necessary for change to happen, then so be it. And yeah, that's That's just it. If it's something that's necessary for this important change in society and law enforcement to happen, then it's gotta happen, even though it's scary and it sucks. And that's really all I can say. It's hard to keep up with everything going on right now because I'm just trying to comprehend one at a time. And I don't really know what to say. I do realize that I am privileged. I do think that given my upbringing, both in my family and in my area, because I technically live on the poor side of my area in my town. And all of the schools that I went to were all black majority, whites were a minority there. So that probably gives me somewhat of a different outlook on race, given that my culture, I guess, was so diverse growing up, because again, that was all of my schools, my elementary school, my middle school, my high school. And my high school is like the most racially diverse school in all of Minnesota. So like that probably, I don't know if that gives me just a different outlook on things. It probably does, but I'm not any sort of moral high ground, and I still know that I have privilege, either in terms of money or in terms of race, because I mean, it's one kind of privilege when you see the shitty things going on and you just know that's bad, but it's even a worse kind of privilege when you don't know the bad things going on. And that was evident with me, and I feel really bad for it, even if it's not 100% my own fault. I mean, it is still somewhat my fault, because I could have looked into what things that were actually going on, but it's just... In one of those crazy Karen videos that are blowing up right now. I don't really use Twitter anymore, I needed a break from it. I don't know if I'm going back or not, but anyway, one of the newest videos that went viral about a crazy woman is she did stuff to some mask displays, and I'll get on COVID in a minute. But she did something to some mask displays in a Target, and then police came and visited her house to arrest her. And when the officer was cuffing her, he said, "I'm sorry." And someone pointed out in the comments of that video, or maybe it was on Reddit or something, but they said, "Look at that." Or they said something about white privilege relating to the officer saying sorry to arresting her because it was a white woman. So I never really thought about that. I mean, I don't know what's inside the officer's head. He could have been apologizing for the woman being the crazy woman that she was. But that's still something I never really thought about, and it was just kind of like, oh fuck moment, I guess. Yeah, it's a weird, I don't know if I'd say weird time, because, this is stuff that should happen. People should fight back against racism and bad shit, and I do think that what is being worked towards, at least in Minnesota right now, with police reform. I think that it's good that they're actually looking into and attempting to figure out a new system for that. Because as far as I believe, there isn't really any other areas that are actually trying that. And I mean, we're not trying it yet, but we are looking into it and having, instead of law enforcement coming for every kind of problem that we have, other kind of specific workers to do that. And I do know, I mean, I don't have the answer for this. I do know that it's just pretty fucking complicated. Because, obviously we still need some form of law enforcement for really serious matters. But we also don't want to put even more stress on social workers who are not treated good enough in their jobs already, but then now they have to take on a bunch of the work that the police did before. So it's just really complicated, and I'm just not someone who knows stuff about it. And what the hell did I do here? Let me cover it up anyway. I messed something up right there. But I mean, there's 10 minutes already. There's just a lot of factors going into what is happening, and it's hard to know what should be the answer that helps out everybody. And I mean, I do think that, yeah, the system does need change, because clearly the system right now is not working and it's not very good. And I mean, I'm not saying that. I think the all cops are bastards thing is stupid and scary, because, like, we've been fighting against generalizations for how many years now? For decades. Generalizations of, like, all gay men are feminine, and all black people are criminals, and yada yada yada. But now it's suddenly okay to say that all cops are terrible people. And I do get that some of the argument between all cops are bastards is that they support the bad system, but as of this current moment, there is no other system for someone to go into if they want to do that kind of work, if they want to help people in that way. So then they're automatically labeled as bad because they want to help people, and they go into the one system that can help people in that certain way. That's just a bit kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. But anyway, enough about the racism, I think. Oh no, wait, one more thing. Have you guys seen all those stupid ads that are popping up now of, we're sorry, but 911 isn't here to take your call due to the defunding of the police, blah, blah, blah. That's just such fucking stupid. That's not the point of people telling to defund the police. It's just stupid. It's fear-mongering. But anyway. COVID. It sucks, man. America is very, stupid and egotistical. I know that we do have shit pretty bad here. But just seeing footage and stats of, like, third world countries, like, I think Brazil is still doing not very good. There was a really bad video of a hospital in San Juan. And I do know from reading that third world countries normally have a bit more chaotic hospitals due to various things, including gang violence. So it's not unusual for hospitals to be a bit cramped and crazy there. But it's still it still just shouldn't be that way, especially in a pandemic, but there's nothing else they can do because they have no money and they have no fancy proper equipment like we have. And while healthcare in America is absolutely ridiculously expensive, we do still have options. Like I don't believe that all of these hospitals have ICU available, but there's at least 130 certified hospitals in Minnesota, and I could go to any various number of them, and I think I can just go to fucking Walgreens and pick something up if I'm not feeling good, and these people in other third world countries do not have that option. And America is so obsessed with itself sometimes that we just forget that there's other people who are suffering. And then we get people like all the crazy ass fucking people who don't want to wear masks because they think they're fine, or they think that it's about control, because they think they're oh so self-important without actually looking at what is going on in other parts of the world and why the masks are important. And that is, if putting a piece of cloth over your face is so much of a sacrifice for you, then don't fucking go outside. It's not that hard. And I have been avoiding social media sounds a bit extreme, but I've just been needing to take a break from it. And I got off Facebook like several years ago, so I don't have to see any of that crazy stuff, and I'm very glad that I did when I did. But now there's occasionally I look into I do keep up on the virus numbers, but I also occasionally watch just like little news clips on YouTube, and then I go into the comment sections of those videos and I instantly regret it. Just because there's so many people just being idiots. And they're just like, I don't see the virus. Our hospital isn't overrun. This is bullshit. Just because they don't. And blaming the media. The media has become such a negative word these days. It's nuts. But they get angry at the media for inflating all this shit and blah blah blah. And it's just sad. I don't mean that in a everyone else is sad, pathetic, and I'm great kind of way, but it's just sad to see all these. And I do realize that most people in real life are just normal and rational and trying to live, trying to be safe, trying to still get money, and I do realize that, but there's still so many people who are just so self-important that caring about other people isn't any kind of priority. Almost 20 minutes now. I guess I did have a lot of shit to talk about. been a rough time. Not just for and not just for me, because like I'm not a fucking victim here. I got it really easy. But it's just, I'm emotional, okay? And it just sucks to see other people hurting, especially good people. And speaking of good people, all this stuff with Jenna Marbles right now, I feel really bad for her. And I do agree with a lot of what people are saying, that not that what she did is okay, but what she did in the past and how she's changed as a person and that she's apologized for it doesn't matter in a sense. It is still important that people know about that, but people know about that in the sense of you can make mistakes, be genuine, and apologize for them, and then you can still be a good person. Like, you did some shitty things in the past, but you apologized, you moved on, you became a better person. That should be the end of the story. But then people are just so angry about that and refuse to believe that someone can change from their bad actions in the past, and that's not a really good thing. And while I'm not trying to like force some sense into her head or whatever the fuck, because I do respect her for wanting to take a break or leave entirely. While that does hurt really bad, even though I've only been watching her for like 2 years maybe, both her and Julian, because Julian's important too. But it does hurt, but I do respect her, and I want her to do whatever it is she needs. And I'm really glad that Julian is supporting her in that. Everyone needs a Julian, man. Either as a partner, as a friend, whatever. Everyone needs a Julian. But I'm really glad that he is there for her. The dogs are there for her. And that she's got a good support system. I am really gonna fucking miss her if she actually does leave for good. Just cause she, like, again, I hadn't even been watching her that long, but it's still just so, it's just nice stuff, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say in this video. It's pretty long anyway. Well, seeing good news is sometimes kind of depressing almost, because it makes me think of I don't know what I'm saying, but it feels stupid to say good news right now, but good news, I got to see my boyfriend the other weekend. That was really, really nice. His family invited us up to his lake house. So I got to see him and his family again, and one of his dogs, so that was really nice. We had a really good time. Even if it was only a 5-hour drive, 5-hour drive on Friday, and then Sunday we left and had another 5-hour drive back home. It was still worth it. It was still really nice seeing him, and really nice to just get a break from all of the everything. And then it's July, so birthday month, yay. Gonna turn 20. Feels weird to say. Do I look 20? I don't know. I certainly need a fucking shower right now. I've been a bit off schedule. But, 2 decades. Yay. I would say it's a weird birthday for me, but I suppose it's a weird birthday for everyone, considering that everyone has a birthday every year. I just miss people. I mean, I have been able to visit, but I just miss... I don't know. I would say I miss normal, but I wasn't a big fan of normal in the first place. I don't get why people say that normal doesn't exist, because it does. Just because everyone's unique doesn't mean that normal doesn't exist. It's normal for us to sleep at night. But anyway, that's a stupid tangent. I'm just ready to catch a break and feel and just feel kind of comfortable for once. We are able to go back to campus, which I'm really happy that we're able to do. Even though there's going to be a bunch of non-fun changes on campus, I'm glad that they're opening it back up. There is going to be a restriction on campus where if you can't go into dorm buildings that you don't live in. But lucky for me, pretty much all of my friends are in the same dorm building, including my boyfriend. We actually might be like 2 doors down from one another, so that's really nice. I got kind of lucky there, but even if a bunch of restrictions on campus might make things a bit weird and unfun, I am glad to go back, because I do better there. I think that's all I have to say for the second time. I hope you're all doing okay. If you can be okay, given everything. For now, I'm just trying to do summer class. I just finished one summer class, and I got a B in that, so that was nice. The other one's still going on, but that's really all I have going on right now. Haven't really been playing much games, sadly. It's just, I need a friend. Need therapy is what I fucking need. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna post this. I don't know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to myself? Am I talking to a friend? Am I talking to the void of my fucking YouTube channel? I don't know. It's past midnight by now. Been really stressed. Got so much acne. I'm also burnt too, so I'm peeling some. God, I keep thinking like, oh, this is all I have to say, but then I think of something else to blabber about. I did film a video a few weeks ago, but I didn't feel like finishing it, so I just deleted the footage. That was just kind of an update and talking about what was going on. similar to this, but just better looking and not in the middle of the night. My room just, I don't know what most I don't know what most female nerds who are 20 years old, what their bedrooms look like, but I don't feel like mine looks like a 20-year-old bedroom. It looks like a 15-year-old's bedroom, especially with that thing. I don't think this qualifies as an ASMR video, though I've always wanted to make those. I think I'm gonna try to sleep now, because that's probably the smart thing to do. So just in case this video goes out and is presented to the small world that is my YouTube channel, I hope that you're all okay. I hope that you stay safe, and just hope that you're somewhat happy, I guess. Bye.